Hey there folks, Pat Kalmerton. Today we are rigging things up. We just got the new Mac rods, the Jason Mitchell Mac rods from Clam Outdoors. We just got those that we ordered. We got all of our braid, our frost braid. We got our Predator reels. We are going to rig up the rods from A to Z. So what we're finished project is right here. So we have a Predator reel. It's a 5-to-1 ball bearing reel, medium heavy, 38-inch Mac carbon rod. This thing is it's an amazing rod. It's a graphite rod. A lot of people say it will snap. I'll take my chances just because I like the way that you feel everything. You know, if you come back down through, you got that, and it has a really good backbone. I'm setting them up for big pike, so it has a long butt, so when you're fighting fish, you can tuck it behind your forearm like that and really get after it. It has good action coming down all the way through. The way that I do it is I'm going to show you the entire setup, if you will. I'm going to put the backing on, which I use a 6-pound fluorocarbon. You can use mono, you can use whatever you want. I just happen to have a spool of 6-pound frost here, so I put about, I don't know, 3 feet of backing on there. That way this 15-pound braid, I use a high-vis braid because it disappears in the water anyways. It's one of them where I'm pike fishing. I'm going to be using a quick set rig on the bottom in one of these Predators, but you know, as far as the high vis, I can see what's going on. That high vis really sticks out against the snow and everything else. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing in this whole thing, is just setting up from the Predator reel. Has a bigger spool to it, you know, and a lot better capabilities for bigger fish. I'm only putting 50 yards on. If a fish is running more than 150 yards, or 150 feet, I'm doing something wrong. But I'll have the reel going, I'll have the rod going, and I'll show you everything from the beginning to the end. So to begin, this is exactly what we have going on. It's the Clam Mac rod. It's a 38-inch medium heavy. It's the Elite Mac rod. You know, it has a lot of backbone to it. It seems really stiff, but this is just my big fish setup. This is the only thing that I'm using it for, is big fish. So I'm big fish, big rods, right? And then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to pair it with the Predator reel. It's a new design to it. It has the 5-to-1 ball bearing gear ratio, bigger handle to it, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put a backing of the mono or fluorocarbon. That way my braid doesn't slip. And then on this one, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take a 15-pound frost braid high vis, and you know, a lot of people sit there and ask, you're always setting things up for different things. Well, you're right. I mean, I got cases of 8-pound, I got cases of 10-pound, I got cases of 15-pound. That's just a braid. Can you only imagine what I have for the line between the 2, the 3, the 4, all the way from mono to fluorocarbon? There's so many options, but every option has a different reason for it. You know, are you going for panfish? Are you going for big panfish? Are you in weeds? Do you want a sinking line? Do you want a floating line? You know, so there's, and we'll get into that at some other point, but right now this is what I got going on. I got you know, I'm setting the Mac rods up for big pike and trout, so stick with us. All right, here we are. We have it out of the package. These reels here have the quick store, push a button and you fold in the handle, so we're just going to fold that out. We are now going to spool this rod. A lot of people, when they take this, when using the braid, a lot of times what they'll say is it just slips. So when you pull it out, or that drag system, it doesn't make that drag work. It just slips on the reel. So to combat that, what you want to do is you want to take the mono or the fluorocarbon, open up your spool. It's very, very simple. All I do is I take it, make a quick little loop knot in there, and then come down right back down through that. So all I'm doing is making a loop knot like so, bringing that down like so, like that, and then all I do is I take this end of the line and go down through the loop. Okay, and this is pretty important when you do it this way. All right, the easiest way to remember, it's not like a dog chain. A dog chain is a P. Go the opposite way, so that way it doesn't slip. So when you start reeling, it will tighten up on you. All I do, I take that loop, put it over the spool, close it up, and then it will go tight from that. And then I attach the reel to the rod. And this thing has a beautiful reel seat. Cinch it right on down. That way I can hold the line a little bit and start reeling. And that will not slip on there at all. So there we have that. And I'm going to take the tag off and spool this bad boy up. So, alright, now that the line is on the reel, here's the next piece of the puzzle. It is a frost braid ice high sensitive fishing line. So I like to use the yellow so you can see it anywhere and everywhere. I'm going to take this bad boy out. It's 50 yards of 15-pound high-vis frost braid. And it comes right here. So I'm only going to use one per reel. I'm going to take that bad boy off. And now I'm going to attach this high-vis to the mono backing so it doesn't slip. The easiest way to do it is just to take this line coming out of the hole, loop it over. Okay, so all I have is that loop coming down through, and then this high vis I'm going to stick through the loop. I'm going to twist around that 8 to 10 times. Now I'm going to twist the braid around the mono. If you do the mono around the braid, it's going to slip on you a little bit when you go to tighten it down. So all I'm going to do is go around that double line, so I have the loop still in my fingers. I'm going to continue to go around that. Now I'm going to bring this piggy tail right back down through that loop. You see that loop? I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to grab that right there, and I'm just going to cinch it tight. Okay, now that's cinched tight right on there. I don't know if you can see that, where the best, there you go. So I got my mono to my braid. I'm going to take my pliers right here, and I'm just going to snip the ends off of that. So boom, and I'm going to go on the other side, snip that tag end, and snip that off. So now I got my mono to my braid, and that right there is how it's connected. So it's just an inline knot, and now I'm going to continue to spool this rod just like so. Notice how it's getting on there, real nice and tight, real nice handle. I'm holding that line tight up here. See that right here? I'm holding that so it goes on tight. That way there's not a lot of slack. Just reel it on in there. And then after that is done, all I'm going to do, so that right there is 50 yards. That's how fast that reel comes up. That tag end right there, I'm going to put a clasp on that rod. And it's going to look just like this rod, completely set up, ready to rock for my pike, my trout, my big walleyes, my lake trout, whatever the case may be. I am set, ready to rock. This here, I can yank on it all I want. It's not going to slip. It's not slipping at all. So that braid on that reel, I am 100% done. I can crank it down, put a clasp on it, and ready to rock. Next, I'll put it in the Predator, show you how to set that up. And that's going to be my setup for warmer days. I would say, you know, that high 30s, or anytime that I want to fight a trout or a pike or anything else. See, in Wisconsin, you can use hook setting devices. So I'm going to use the Predator quite often. I ordered a dozen of them, and I fully intend to fight some pike. I'm a tip-up guy. Don't get me wrong. I love tip-up fishing, but on warmer days, and if the bite is finicky where they come up and touch it and spit it back out, this is going to eliminate those days. I mean, I talked so many times about running over to a tip-up and breaking it, meaning don't pick up the tip-up and look at it. I go to the T-bar and I crank on it and I reach for the stars right off the get-go. This is going to eliminate that, because in the states that a hook setting device is legal, now there are some states, so make sure that you read your regulations, but the states that a hook setting device is legal, I absolutely 100% positively will be running these, especially on those days that they're finicky. That way, if they touch that line, it's going to cross our eyes. And after that, the battle is on, and we are going to be fighting them on the Mac. So here we go. Predator reel, Mac 38 medium heavy. Now, you know, graphite rods are by far the ideal rod for these. I just like the action of these rods, so I'm going to take my chances. And I'll show you that they work just fine. So stick with us. All right, everybody. So here's what we got going on. We have our Mac rod all set, done, ready to rock. Predator reel, high vis line, everything of the sort, ready to go, right? So this is what's exciting, is this here is Clam's new tip-up. It is the Predator. It is a combination of a hook setting device as well as a free spool device. So there's a couple of different things that you can do with this. It is extremely easy. All right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down, bring that back around. So all I'm going to do is slide this out. I have it locked up. It comes in the package just like this. All right, so you have your rod holder here, you have your arms, you have your spikes so it doesn't slide forward, and you got a flag. Okay, so the way that it works is you just you adjust this however long your rod is. So you're going to go from your rod to however far it is. I'm going to put it about here. I'm going to tighten it right down here. Okay, so now it's locked tight. All right, now I'm going to take this flag. You can use the flag on this. You don't have to use the flag on that. The flag, it all depends on if you want to be able to see it from a distance or whatnot. All right, so this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take this rod right here, and I'm going to bring it all the way down, and we're going to set it on this trigger mechanism right here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put the eye of the rod right in this, I'm going to bring it back up, and then I'm going to have this down below that, just like that. That way when this comes down, it pops up. So you'll see how I do this right now. I'm going to bring this down just like this. I'm going to put it in this piece right here. So you have a locking. I'm going to bring this piece up. I'm going to set it just like so. And that goes right over the trigger. See that trigger right there? Right here? So then when a fish does hit, okay, so I'm going to be the fish. I'm going to pull this line right here straight down, okay? I'm going to try not to get that swivel in my hand. Fish on. That's exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works. Here we go! Then I'm going to run over and pick up the rod. Oh, yeah! Look at that. Look at that. Huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm getting all excited and giddy. So that's how this thing works. Predator tip up. Go grab yourself some Clam Predator tip up. Woo! God, I can't wait. All right, so Clam Predator tip up. We went from rigging the rod to how the tip up works and all that stuff. All I'm going to do is loosen this bad boy up, bring her back down, close her down, just like that. Now watch this. This is pretty awesome. I'm going to flip this around maybe. I'm not. I'll be right back with you. So here's what's so cool about this is now that it is 100% collapsed and everything else, I could probably put a couple into 5-gallon buckets or whatnot, but I choose personally to use the Lakewood double bowl case. And here's why, because on each side, 6 of them will fit perfectly on each side of that. Okay, so I got my 6 Predator tip-ups on this side that will close down, and then over here what I'm going to do is I'm going to collapse my rod handle, and it's going to slide just on the other side. So I got these barriers right here that will protect my rods on this side and my predators on this side. So my double Lakewood bowl case will carry 6 predators with 6 of my pike or trout rods or lake trout rods or whatever, and I will have no problem at all. And once that is locked down tight, I will have a shoulder strap. I will have a seat for my kids to sit on when we get out there, because these things are sturdy. You can